What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Stochastic here on the Odd Shopper channel, coming to you with another edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. Goes a long way for me on this video, goes a long way for you. That way you become a prize whenever great content is going live here at our little neck of the YouTube woods. Just got done watching an exciting NBA game. Baseball's been a little iffy for me here on Sunday. Got a couple of things through at the tail end of last week. Didn't really help you in the home run department Thursday, Friday, and that's what we're going to try to get back on track with. I've got two guys we're going to highlight on this lovely 11-game Monday slate we have before us. But check out DraftKings Sportsbook if you haven't already. I know a lot of you have already signed up over there, but if you haven't, check them out in the video description box below. There's a link there for you. It takes about 2 minutes to sign up. It's one of the biggest sportsbooks that exists. We also have FanDuel down there. We have Bet365. The whole point is that you want to be shopping for the best lines. When you can get plus 100 for something instead of minus 110, why wouldn't you want the 10-cent better play? That's massive ROI. That cuts into your bottom line big time at the end of the season. So make sure you're signed up at DraftKings, FanDuel, wherever you feel comfortable placing your money. If you're 21 and over, if you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. But check out that video description box below every single day. Alrighty, y'all. We're going to get back on track here. Excited. Feel a little refreshed after the weekend. You know, got into a little mischief, as one does on the weekends, but enjoyable stuff. I'm ready to be back with you. Let's get to the picks. We begin our tour in Cleveland. We've got Detroit there. Everything's an afternoon, evening game or later. That's nice. It's nice to not have to get up early, put the betting card together. Sundays. Oh, man, this Sunday was really brutal getting up. But either way, we're ready to rock. It's Mr. Joey Wentz on the mound going up against Tanner Beebe, who has been more like a shotgun Beebe. Tanner shotgun instead of Beebe. Whatever. I screwed up the joke. I'm an idiot. Joey Wentz, though, let's talk about him. He's not good at pitching. 18% K rate, 470 expected slugging. Nothing that really stands out. Even against this Cleveland team that's not exactly hunky-dory, I think he should be able to, get lit up. He's terrible. I mean, 6.67 ERA through a bunch of starts, bunch of innings now. Not great. And you've got a Detroit team backing you there. Yeah, that's not going to go well. But either way, I wanted to just fast forward to Tanner Beebe because he gets to go pick on the Detroit Tigers. And what a great opportunity this is for him to just mow dudes down. Now, Tanner Beebe has been incredible through 2 starts, a 2.46 ERA, a .91 whip. And I was thinking, man, can he keep it going? What did he look like in AAA this year? Yeah, he had that stuff. He's going to be that dude, I think. Cleveland always finds one of these guys a year, it seems like, where they just emerge out of nowhere. Why did Cal Quantrill pitch well today? Whatever, that's annoying. 223 xWOBA, a 30.2% K rate, had 8 strikeouts his debut, 5 the next time out. In Columbus, it looked like he had great stuff in AAA. I am pretty excited about backing this arm. Now, the thing you need to be paying attention to, there is some rain, per usual. Always want to be making sure that you don't get stuck holding the bag on a strikeout prop or strikeout props if you do what I'm going to suggest, because some weather shortened outing type of situation. So if the weather's good, if we're ready to rock here, I am going to be looking at a K ladder up to 8 strikeouts for our guy Tanner Beebe. And I get it. I mean, Senga on Friday, I can't even with this dude. He's pretty much the only guy I've K laddered because I don't find a lot of them to be all that profitable long-term. But Tanner Beebe, because books are still hanging up a little bit lower numbers, I know it's Detroit. It's not like they're going to be immune to knowing that this matchup is fantastic for any hitter, especially righties. Detroit, a 25.2% K rate so far this season. That is your 5th highest in baseball, tied with my Minnesota Twins. But they have the 77 WRC plus, my Twins 99 WRC plus. So Tanner Beebe up to 8 Ks. I'm going to be paying attention to the weather, as should you. If you want to know if I fire this one up, per usual, hit me up on Twitter at Eric Lindquist. But Beebe, just bring that shotgun along. Ladder up to 8 Ks. Tampa Bay gets out of the Trop. They head to Baltimore. Not that they need any issues creating runs. They do it pretty well. My God, this offense is just absolutely in fuego. And now they get a hunky-dory matchup going up against one Kyle Gibson. Oh, woof. Going up against Shane McClanahan. Now, McClanahan, we know how good he is. A 190 expected batting average, 31.7% K rate does the Southpaw have. He's just fantastic. This is a really good spot. They're big favorites for what you would expect for being on the road here. You can still get plus money on the -1.5. Thought about making that the suggestion, in fact. Might have to add that to the card a little bit later, but looking at home run props the last couple times for the Tampa Bay Rays, it does seem like the books are starting to properly price Brandon Lowe. You get Yandy Diaz, who he probably won't be in up against a righty and Gibson there. You're looking at Wander Franco, who not necessarily a home run guy, just doing everything well. He already has 6 on the season anyway with a 917 OPS. But the back half of this lineup, the 6, 7, 8 guys, I've been targeting them a little bit more because you're starting to see plus 4, 5, 600. Even we had a Christian Bethancourt bomb for plus 700 in the premium Discord, which you can also sign up for in the video description box below. Get my betting card every single day. But I want to highlight Josh. I always have to say it because Brandon Lowe, Josh Lowe. There we go. Josh Lowe, these lefties, specifically him and Luke Fraley, I think they're going to be on the betting card tomorrow, assuming that we're getting the kind of numbers we've had the last couple days against righties for them. But this dude is having a breakout season with a 318 average, 6 homers, 989 OPS. Kind of love everything that we're seeing from him. And then Luke Raley as well. Both of these guys have well north of 50% hard hit percentages. I mean, this guy, 524 expected slugging, 368 xWOB. He actually has the lower hard hit percentage, excuse me. He's not in that 50% corridor, but the numbers are pretty inflated on him. This guy is very good at baseball, do not get me wrong. So I want to be invested in him for the foreseeable future. Just when it comes to his bases, I'm going to be paying attention, but always want to highlight somebody that I think could go yard. And again, Baltimore didn't change those dimensions out to right field. The left field wall changed drastically. So power, still pretty good for lefties. That's going to give me Brandon Lowe. Yes, Josh Lowe to home run. A lean call for me here, but probably going to be making the card, assuming better than plus 450. The Pittsburgh Pirates are starting to string games together. I mean, they're still 35 games into the season, 20-15, 9-7 at home. Now they are hosting the lowly Rockies, who did put up some runs against the Mets because, the Mets are just treading water themselves. Hasn't been the breakout year for them, but they're getting Mitch Keller. Can I call him comeback Keller? Is that a thing we can do? But I guess he was always bad. Now he's just good for the first time. Keller is probably the right way of saying it. He's facing Kyle Freeland, who hasn't pitched now for a little bit. He ended up having a neck injury that ended up pushing a start, but he ended up getting back into the mix. He's fine. It looks like he's going to be pitching with his regular rest here. I'm just not all that enthusiastic about him. And I know that there are some pieces of his pitch mix that have improved. And then he's pitching outside of Coors, which always makes you value these pitchers a little bit more. But just a 17.2% K rate. There are some guys with power in this lineup. Brian Reynolds, 51% hard hit percentage, 562 expected slugging. Jack Sawinski from the left side has now been facing some lefties and still hitting the ball pretty hard. 594 expected slugging on the year with a pretty high walk rate. Connor Joe has been out of control in the hard hit department as well. 50% hard hit percentage and ISO over 300. There's only like 8 players in baseball with that, and he is somehow one of them. So throwing it out there, and then Rodolfo Castro starting to hit some hard balls from the shortstop position. So just highlighting some of these Pittsburgh Pirates facing a southpaw here in Kyle Freeland. Going to be an interesting matchup, but I don't know if it's good enough, and I don't know if I want to be buying into Mitch Keller. And I thought about adding the money line, and it's pretty jacked up at this point at minus 155. So the only lean I can really give you is on this run line. Mitch Keller, a 25.5% hard hit percentage. He gets the lovely matchup. You get Colorado out of Coors. They are going to be miserable long-term going up against righties. Just is what it is. An 81 WRC plus with a 135 ISO so far this season. Not great, Bob. Not great. Yeah. Sucks. I want to add it to the card, but I just can't. I think there's better spots to go on an 11 gamer. Pittsburgh minus 1.5. That would be the lean. Probably going to be looking at props or pass. Got to play in this one though for you. We're going to start a wave of totals here today, and hey, hit them all here on Sunday in the premium betting card. That was lovely stuff. So thank you for Kansas City and Oakland deciding to not score a million runs on Sunday. That was fantastic. 10.5 for the total there. Come on. Stop it. I mean, this Oakland lineup has been out of control at the top of it, but we'll get there here in a second. They're facing the Yankees here, and I'm all right backing offense in this one. Nestor Cortez has been great. A 194 expected batting average. just doing Nestor Cortes things. He's going to get by on location, get by on funky deliveries, even with the clock. It seems as though he's made the adjustments pretty quickly, and he's had a couple hiccups along the way, specifically that last outing against Texas. But are we starting to believe in Texas as an offense? I hope so. They put up a bajillion runs a day, it seems, as well. So I'm okay giving Nestor Cortes a pass there. But I'm still a little bit nervous about this spot for him, which is a wild thing to say. And I don't think anybody would have been saying that about Oakland coming into a game before the season started. But so far this season, a 115 WRC plus with a 162 ISO against left-handed pitching. That's good. It's like just legitimately good. I can't believe I'm complimenting anything about Oakland, but that's what happens when you have Brent Rooker with double-digit home runs already, hitting 330 with a 1.156 OPS. It's one-man wrecking crew won the most of the time here. Asturio Ruiz, though, he can run. How about that? 16 stolen bases now for him on the season. Nestor Cortes is a pretty good move, but still, that's a lot of speed at the top of this lineup. They picked up JJ Bleday, who will probably be out of the lineup, even though he's hitting 375, just because it'll be left on left. But then Ramon Laureano starting to join the fray a little bit here as well. I just think Oakland's going to be able to get enough done here. And then on the other side, JP Spears, 465 expected slugging. He's seen some improvement in his stuff, a 25.8% K rate, decent hard hit, but I'll see it when I'll believe it when I see it, is probably the right way of saying it. Nothing really looks drastically different in the data to me so far. He has a 4.66 expected ERA, which is actually worse than last year's 4.49 expected ERA. So I think the Southpaw might run into some issues, even without Judge, even without Stanton. It does sound like Judge is going to get back on Tuesday. That's good stuff. Good news for Yankees fans, bad news for anybody else who doesn't like him like me. But Harrison Bader, he's in that mix. Volpe has been hitting better. DJ LeMahieu at the top of this lineup. Gleyber Torres, a lot of righties that can do some damage still without Stanton and Judge. So our first that we're going to be adding on the board, over of 8 in this one, even though, again, the leans on the K props, the homers, got to see the numbers first. Got to see the numbers. But this one, we have a number over of 8. I like it. Kansas City hosting the White Sox coming up here next. Dylan Cease on the mound for the road team. We're looking at some good stuff. Good opportunity for him to come back to life here going up against Kansas City Royals and Zach Greinke, who I think by now I don't believe in. I just don't think we're going to be getting good numbers trying to face them. And do we really want to try to go after him here with this White Sox lineup, who against right-handed pitching so far this season? 80 WRC plus? 5th worst in baseball? I don't think so. As much as Greinke's washed with a 305 expected batting average, 508 expected slugging, and I think we do expect some positive regression for the likes of, Gavin Sheets getting into the mix, Luis Robert. It's just a bad lineup. Can we just say it? It's just a bad lineup. I don't want to be backing them, and that's kind of sucky for Dylan Cease, who's a really good pitcher and somebody I think he's going to start regressing back towards the mean. He had a 31.2% hard hit percentage last season. He's already up to 52% this season. Now, it's in 1/5 of the sample size that we had from last year, so I'm not going to be hitting eject on Dylan Cease here yet, but the price is really kind of the issue with this one. We're looking at a pretty inflated price to be backing a White Sox lineup to be successful, and that, my friends, just makes it a lean here on Cease. It's a bummer. White Sox money line, just a lean. Before we get to my one lock, yes, the one and only lock I have on the board, this is a stone cold lock for you, getting $150 in that video description box below just by signing up at DraftKings Sportsbook. Here's what you do. You click on the link below. You bet $5. Yes, $5 on anything your heart desires. It could be something I recommend on this video, something from somebody else here at Odd Shopper. It doesn't matter. When it goes live, you're going to have $150 in bonus bets to use instantly over at DraftKings. That is an incredible offer that they have going. DraftKings, I know a lot of you have it, totally understood, but there's going to be a lot of you who don't have DraftKings or don't have FanDuel, who's running the identical offer in that video description box below. Sign up, take advantage of these promotions that sportsbooks are offering to you just to try out their product. And plus, we've got all the tools, all the equipment, whether it's the videos here on Odd Shopper, all of the great data that we have on the Odd Shopper site, the market-based approach that we bring to the table. We can help you be successful at every single one of these books. So take advantage of it. Check out DraftKings right now and get a great offer while you do it. It's only if you're 21 and over. And if you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER Alrighty, y'all, to the lock we go. We've got Milwaukee hosting the Dodgers. Yes, the Dodgers playing in Petco. Then they're going to be flying across the country. Flying across the country is a lot different than it used to be. Pretty comfy, pretty cushy. Milwaukee, though. I had a nice time in Milwaukee. It's a pretty decent city. Great ballpark. But anyway, Freddie Peralta on the mound here for him, going up against Tony Gonsolin. And Gonsolin, well, 80 pitches last time out is a huge market improvement. He only... 3 earned runs that he's given up now in 8 total innings this season. I would like to see the K's start to come back to life, even though that's not necessarily what his repertoire was that got him into consideration for the Cy Young last year. But this is still a pretty wild situation that we've got for Monday because, well, the bullpen for the Dodgers still going to have to be doing a little bit of work, but I feel pretty good targeting this Milwaukee lineup through and through. You get by Yelich, who's starting to hit the ball hard again, still really low, 5-degree average launch angle. Launch that thing, my friend. William Contreras, Rowdy Tellez. You got some decent guys at the top of that lineup, but on the whole, Jesse Winker, huge down year. A lot of no names on the back half of the lineup. Brian Anderson starting to regress towards the main after a hot start to the season, 32.9% hard hit percentage, just a .230 expected batting average. I really like Tony Gonsolin. I think from an ERA perspective for your year-long leagues, if you're playing, year-long fantasy, he's somebody that is going to be able to help you in the ERA category. 2.14 ERA last season, 3.12 expected ERA. Yeah, even though it had some negative regression, he's just getting his footing going. Just 2 starts so far this season. I expect good things here against Milwaukee. But that does not mean I want to be targeting Freddie Peralta by any means. My God, this dude is still fantastic. A fastball Freddie, if you will. That's all he throws, and that's really all he needs to throw because it's a really good pitch. 54% of the time throwing that in, and he has a slider change curve. He could just throw the fastball incessantly and be just fine. 27.9% K percentage with that pitch, or overall, and with that pitch, just some really good metrics in terms of swing and miss for a primary fastball there. That's it's fantastic. A 25.3% whip percentage, above average in that regard. And that slider comes in and wipes out batters currently with a 45.9% whip percentage. I like him facing this Dodger lineup. I get the Dodgers are very, very good. They have rocked some righties so far this season and will continue to with their 124 WRC plus, but kind of don't care. I think pitching wins the day here in this one, and I don't expect a lot of runs. So under 8.5, I have this around 7.2 runs. You have over a run for anything? That, my friends, is a lock. So there you go. My favorite play of the entire day, the under Dodgers, Milwaukee, 8.5. For a game that I'm really looking forward to, there's not a whole lot that we're looking at from this one. Miles Mikolas and the St. Louis Cardinals heading to Wrigley, taking on Marcus Stroman. He's just shown market improvement. Talked about it before the season where I thought that K rate against lefties looked really good in it. Seemed like it was going to be sustainable. So even though teams come in with the platoon and they lay the platoon, seems as though he's going to be inducing some more swings and misses than normal against them. A 23.3% K rate this season. That is improvement from 20.9% last year. 3.97 expected ERA. Different than the 2.18 ERA, that's for sure. But he's definitely found early success. I think he continues to keep it going. And St. Louis, well, you had Paul Goldschmidt hit 3 homers. That seems good on Sunday. Little bit different here facing the Cubbies, who definitely have themselves a ball club this year. It's always more fun when the Cubs at least have a decent team. 17-17 this season. Cardinals 11-24 have been atrocious, but I expect positive regression because, well, it hasn't been their lineup that's been a problem. It's been starting pitching, specifically guys like Miles Mikolas, a 5.79 ERA, 1.66 whip, nothing like what he got paid during this offseason. So, oopsie daisy there. He's just not very good. That's what it comes down to. It's unfortunate. So I'm, of course, going to lean the Chicago Cubs money line here. I want to be paying attention to wind. We need to see the wind before we get to that total. Hence, there will be no total out here yet. If you want to know if there ends up being a play on that one, hit me up. But lots to still be negotiated with this game. Specifically need to see the wind report closer to first pitch. So is what it is. That's the joy of heading to Wrigley Field. I personally enjoy it. We've been able to hammer some totals when they've come out early this season. It's been really, really nice. But so far, books, they're being a little bit more apprehensive here. Cubs money line, simply a lean. Hopefully we can find something here for you tomorrow. This is kind of another intriguing spot that I just wish I had more interest in from a betting perspective, because it comes down to the numbers, my friends. And the numbers do not look fondly on Hunter Brown, who I absolutely love, by the way, going for the Houston Astros, going up against Patrick Sandoval, who's starting to show out a little bit. So it's two really good lineups. Houston, you get the Kyle Tucker, Yordan Alvarez, but they're neutralized a little bit left on left. You can maybe find some better numbers on home run props and things of that nature. It's not like they're not going to be in the lineup left on left here, but Patrick Sandoval so far this season, I would call him disappointing, but is starting to turn a curve in terms of the advanced analytics. Now, a disappointment is relative because he still has a 2.94 ERA. That's great. But a 4.09 expected ERA, that's a little hefty. He was north of 4.4 through the last couple of his previous starts. So he's starting to improve there. But the 11.2% walk rate, we need to get that down. We also need that K rate to get up. 17.9%, considering what? 23.7% in 2022, 25.9% in 2021. I don't know. A lot of being sustainable as a pitcher is being able to avoid hard contact, being able to avoid bats. Now, the hard hit has been awesome. 25.8%. There's no doubt about it. But considering he's a slider changeup guy, well, location, it's gonna come into play, and he's gonna have that higher walk rate from time to time. So something to be looking at going forward. I like the stuff. I liked him coming off of the World Baseball Classic. Just hasn't been the entire complete pitcher that I was hoping for at the beginning of this season. Hunter Brown, though, he's kind of that dude. But this is a really tough spot in Anaheim against this Angels lineup that just absolutely obliterates everybody, it would seem like these days. Even Hunter Renfroe, Anthony Rendon starting to join the party against right-handed pitching here, showing out on Sunday. So that was good stuff. But Hunter Brown, I like the mix overall a little bit more than, well, just about anybody else on that Houston staff right now, which I never in a million years thought I was going to be saying that I'd prefer him over Valdez already, that I prefer him over Luis Garcia, who rip. We're not going to see him again this year, it sounds like. But 2.60 ERA, 1.18 whip, wild stuff from Hunter Brown. 11, 12 ground balls in 2 of his last 4 outings. That, my friends, is the recipe for success in the bigs. Get the ball on the ground when it gets hit, induce weak contact, and hey, strike out batters, which he can also do. So that's kind of cool. He's very good. Not that anybody's cheering for Houston from a real life perspective, but the under of 8.5 because of these pitchers is my lean here. But Anaheim with the lowered wall out to right field, there's a lot of power in both these lineups. I don't feel like kind of playing with fire. So yeah, probably going to be a pass for me here on Monday. 3 games to go. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell as we go to Arizona for a game that I do have a play from. So, hey, rejoice. Good stuff. They're going to be facing the Miami Marlins. Oh, yeah. My guy. It's kind of 2 of my guys. I think Braxton Garrett, I mean, he's not my guy. Let's be serious. Zach Gallen is my guy. He has always been my guy. I would be voting him for Cy Young. Well, I'm biased. I wish I had a vote. That'd be cool. But Zach Gallen, he's been my dude for years, mainly because Arizona, they weren't very good. And yet you could get crazy prices on them behind a pitcher that just consistently did crazy stuff, like a 250 xWOBA, a really low walk rate, 6.6% last year, a 26.9% strikeout rate, which was great. That's up to 35.2% this year, a 2.56 expected ERA. That is the top 10% of baseball. That is up there with like a lot of relievers that are stacked up in that kind of ballpark. So, I mean, we're talking about a 4-seamer curveball combination that is just lethal. It's really the 2 pitches he's throwing by a drastic majority right now, as he should, because, well, they're both insanely good, especially that curveball coming in with a 47% whiff percentage this season. Spin rate, almost identical too. I don't know what's going on. He's just inducing more of those misses. It's good stuff. Oh yeah, and then on the other side of this one, Braxton Garrett, not my dude. 48.4% hard hit percentage, 389 xWOBA, 329 expected batting average. In Arizona, they got themselves some bats against lefties. You got Evan Longoria, who will be joining the party there. Corbin Carroll left on left. I'm fine with that. Ketel Marte. You get Gabriel Moreno, probably going to be catching in that. Lourdes Gurriel, double dong Sunday. To all who celebrate that. Good work. Whatever. The tough part is that now it's not like you're getting a great price, but still a good enough price to make Arizona -1.5. Yes, I got to go to the run line for this one in order to be backing my dude. -105. Just happy paying that price for it. A little bit tougher to stomach at -215, the best number available on the money line. That's a little rich for my blood, but Arizona -1.5, do like it for Monday. He disappointed once on our card, but you know what? We're going back to the well. It is Jon Gray versus Logan Gilbert, and I am talking about a home run prop here from this one, but I'll break down the pitchers for you first. Starting with Logan Gilbert, he's good. 29.6% K rate, 265 xWOBA, but great numbers against lefties and righties alike, in a great ballpark there in Seattle. Everything is coming up roses for Logan Gilbert. And Jon Gray on the other side. What happened to the K rate, bro? You're not striking out bats. You really don't have a lot to offer in the bigs because you've always given up hard contact to a certain extent. Now, this season, that's actually been down to 33.3%, but I think that's a little bit of an outlier. He's generally been 38% plus in every major league season, with seasons as high as 43.8, 46% hard hit percentages in recent 5 years. So there's that. But the K rate just disappeared. It fell off a ledge. 24.4% in 2021, 25.7% in 2022, 14.5% this season with a 6.18 expected ERA. He is due to get murdered soon. Now, the reason that I'm not going to be recommending the Seattle money line here is because, well, -150, it's close to efficient, and this Texas Rangers offense has been nuts, like unsustainably hot. And even against righties, they've just been nuts. So 118 WRC plus. Logan Gilbert, I really like him, but I do not want to play with fire there. But I still want to target with either bases or home run props some of these issues that I see coming for Jon Gray very, very soon. And why don't I just go to the best hitter in this lineup so far this season? And wild to say, but it's by a landslide. Jarred Kelenic, a 587 expected slugging, 398 xWOBA, a 55.3% hard hit percentage is massive, with a 9.9 degree average launch angle. Those things make me happy. Those are nice StatCast numbers. Those are not bad StatCast numbers. So you know what? Jarred Kelenic, you want to just bet him for home runs. I remember the end of last season when he started to put it together, looked better at the plate. And hey, he's going to be somebody who, when you face pitchers that are not getting Ks, considering he strikes out at a 28.7% clip, if you're not missing his bat, it's going to go fast and far off of it. So Jarred Kelenic to home run, my favorite home run prop for the day, as long as we're getting a good price of plus 300 or better, which I totally expect, it's on the card for Monday. And our last game of the day, pretty wild. Somebody else previously on a different video, I don't know, I'm in the comment section, but I see the things. I'm interacting with the people, always saying hi, checking in, always watching, look at the baby, look at the baby. God, now I want to watch old school. That was old school, right? Yeah, it was definitely old school. But either way, people said, Eric, you always lock the last game of the night. No, I don't. It just seems like there are good plays out west here, and why not fire up a play that you like? And this is not a lock. But we are looking at Washington and San Francisco. We got something named Jake Irvin, who's going to be on the mound here for the Washington Nationals. Don't think I've had to break him down in depth. I think he was a late add to a card, got a call up from AAA, had one start, 4.1 innings pitched, 81 pitches. It's fine, but there is one massive issue with this guy. Looks like he's going to be walking batters in the bigs. He had 4 walks in that first inning, and I had to go back and check some of his AAA numbers there. He had a 1.54 whip over just 22 and a third innings in AAA this season. It's a pretty massive number. Jake Irvin in there by default, so don't look at his ERA. Don't look at the other things. You have one start of sample size. Could he have a decent K rate going forward? Probably not. Does he have decent stuff? No. I think he's going to get lit up at the big league level. And DeSclafani here going for the San Francisco Giants. Anthony DeSclafani, so far this season, he's been okay. Nothing special. Fantastic ERA, 2.13 ERA. That seems really, really good for the box score watchers in that regard. But from a StatCast perspective, the things I care about, a 46.4% hard hit percentage, 437 expected slugging, and just a 20.8% K rate. There's just enough on this Washington side that I think we can target Anthony DeSclafani, and specifically this Irvin fellow, who I just don't think is going to be very good, specifically looking at the San Francisco side, doing most of the damage. But that makes me like the over of 8.5 here. It is currently even money. Yes, you heard me. It is even money, plus 100 to be backing that. Maybe this line drops to 8. So if you want to be patient, we could maybe take that shot, but I'm okay getting a little sprinkle on the over of 8.5 here. I think Washington, as bad as what they are as a baseball team, I think they're going to have decent enough numbers against right-hand pitching coming forward. I get it. They have the league worst 72 WRC plus against them. but I expect positive regression specifically because Joey Meneses has to start hitting better. I think he went yard actually on Sunday. I think I saw that alert. Maybe I made that up. But either way, I expect better things out of him. Stone Garrett, now that he's going to be playing there almost every single day, that's a better hitter than other guys that they've had up there. Alex Call, I expect him to start hitting better too. Lots of pieces for Washington. There are at least intriguing prospects. Over 8.5. Let's get early to the party. And that does it for another edition of Lindy's Leans, Locks, and Locks. Head to that comment section below. Let me know your favorite plays on Monday's slate. Looking forward to it. Going to be a fun one. You can check out the premium Discord. That's where I'm going to be posting my plays every single day. Use promo code Lindy in the video description box below. Get 50% off your first week there. But thank you so much to producer Jacob. Good to be back hanging out here. Another week of baseball coming up for you here on the Odd Shopper channel. Until Tuesday, I'm Eric Lindquist. Best of luck in the MLB streets on Monday.